Hey guys, I'm Brittany and this is July's book haul. I've been feeling like super gross for like the past 24 hours, so if I'm just kind of like out of it and not describing things well, I'm sorry. I'm slamming monster, I'm trying to get over it, so there's your warning. So the first three books that I wanted to show I actually got for my birthday from my precious Hufflepuff Aubrey, and she took me to a bookstore called Second and Charles, and it was beautiful. I loved it. It was like the best birthday gift ever, and she bought me 3 books. So the first book I got was Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. I like absolutely love this cover, and I've never heard of it. Like, I had heard of it, but I don't know anything about it, and she had read it and said that I would love it. It seems like an adventure and like somebody's going on some voyages, and yeah, I'm really into it. The next book that she got me was Alex and Eliza by Melissa De La Cruz. I'm sure you guys all know about this. I talked about it in my TBR video. This is like Alexander Hamilton, so I'm into it. I'm living for it. I'm here for it. And the last book she got me is my absolute favorite. It's this edition of the Grimm's Fairy Tales, and let me tell you guys, look how stunning this is. It is to die for. I love it. And the illustrations are also just so beautiful. I cannot wait to like read this with my kids and just read it for myself, honestly, because I super love fairy tales. And this is probably one of my most favorite things that I own at this point. It's just so stunning. Next, I actually signed up for Book of the Month this month for the first time, and I used my friend Sophie at Sophie Reads. I used her link to get a free book from Book of the Month, and you guys should go follow her. She's the best. I love her. But I grabbed The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. It's like a thriller. I believe it's something to do with like a girl in a camp mystery, and like she grew up and now she has to go back to the summer camp, and possibly I think she's like a counselor there now, and she teaches art or something, and I don't know. I didn't look like super far into it because I really don't like to know a whole lot going into thrillers specifically. But I know this author wrote Final Girls, which I have not read, but I've heard good things, so I am really excited for this. And I also grabbed The Book of Essie by Megan McLean Weir. What I remember from this synopsis was, I believe this girl has grown up like on reality television with her entire family, and I believe her father is like maybe a priest or something. I know that they're like deeply religious, and she ends up becoming pregnant, so I'm sure there's like a scandal there. Basically it had me sold on reality TV because I am absolute scum for the Kardashians. I love them. I know, just trash me, you guys, I don't care, because I know that it makes no sense. But I love the Kardashians, I love reality TV, so I thought this would be good. And the rest of this book's in the haul I actually got from my library sale, and the first one is The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney. A couple of these are actually going to be middle grade because I do love middle grade. I had bought like a 5th or 6th book in the series on Book Outlet on accident, and when I found out, I was like, oh yeah, I remember The Face on the Milk Carton being a book, so maybe I'll purchase it, and I found it at the library sale for 25 cents, so yeah, I was really excited. If I remember correctly, when I read this as a kid, it was about a girl who was like eating lunch at school, and she was looking at her milk, and on the milk carton was a picture of her, which like indicated that she had been kidnapped or a missing child, and she's like trying to piece together like what the fuck happened in her life to like make her face be on a milk carton, because I believe like her parents were like these just awesome parents and she didn't understand. So yeah, I think this will be an interesting middle grade. The next middle grade I got was Al Capone Does My Shirts. I don't know anything about it. I read the words Al Capone and I was like, this would be cool, especially since it's middle grade, so it'll be like an interesting take on that whole situation. And also my family has always talked about Al Capone, and I've never known shit about that dude. So I also got A Wind in the Door and A Swiftly Tilting Planet by Madeline L'Engle. I don't know. These are the second and third books in the Wrinkle in Time series. I think there was like 6, and I didn't know that until I saw these at the library sale, and I think they had 2, 3, 4, and 5, but I only got these 2 because I'm not sure if I'm actually going to like it. So for 50 cents altogether, I felt like this was decent, and if I didn't like them, that's fine. Maybe my kids will in the future. So yeah, I plan on getting to these after I read A Wrinkle in Time, which hopefully will be this month if I can stop slacking on my reading. Another middle grade I got was Campfire Stories. It kind of looked like illustrations from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I loved as a kid, and I would really like to reread. And I've never seen this before. It looked cool. My son is 4 years old and really, really into Goosebumps, so I thought maybe this would be like not super scary, but scary enough to like keep him interested, so I grabbed that. Also, I'm interested in reading it. I love Campfire Stories, are you kidding me? And the last middle grade I got was Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. I'm sure I read this when I was little. I read all of Roald Dahl's books. Don't remember what this is about, but looks cute. And then also at the library sale, I got Animal Farm by George Orwell. Don't remember what this is about, and there's like no synopsis on the back. I think my husband described it to me like a really long time ago, and I thought he said something about animals taking over the world. Maybe they can just talk. I don't know. It's short, and it's probably good. I also grabbed The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I know this is a movie. I've never seen it. I think it's sci-fi, just like judging by the title and cover. But yeah, the back kind of seemed like it might have like a humor element, like it's silly. I'm sure you guys have probably all seen this, heard of it, read it, watched it. I don't know. I haven't, so I grabbed it and I'd like to read it soon. I also grabbed End of Watch by Stephen King. I'm trying and failing to read all of the Stephen King books in order. So I'm currently on The Shining, which is the third book, by the way. But I do collect his books, so I grabbed this because I hadn't picked it up yet. I think it's about a man who is a serial killer, and now he's in a mental institution, and he's been like kind of silently like listening to these people, but they don't know that he's like actually listening because I believe that he was like catatonic or something. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that, so sorry if I did. I also grabbed The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I just thought this was a really neat cover. It's like really simple, but it's intriguing. And I thought I saw this on some like Goodreads list of like best books of all time or some shit. I don't know. It was like 50 cents, $1, I don't know. So I picked it up. I think it has something to do with possibly like a dog's suspicious death, and I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, but yeah. I also grabbed Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I think this is about a girl who dies and then has to relive her, like, I don't know, death day a bunch. It was YA, it was cheap. I've never read anything by Lauren Oliver. I probably wouldn't have if I didn't find this for so cheap. But, yeah, maybe it's cool. I also picked up Stags by M.A. Bennett. I don't know a goddamn thing about this. What I do know is I really like that chair, and that Target is super intriguing. So, I don't know. It appears to be YA. I don't know. I like it. I like the look of it. I'm going to read it. Next, I grabbed City of Thieves by David Benioff. I think this is like World War II type of fiction. I don't know anything about it. I mentioned it to Sophie at Sophie Reads, and she said she had heard mixed reviews, so hopefully it's good. Next, I grabbed Shadow of the Hegemon by Orson Scott Card. This is part of the Ender's Game series, which I've read 3 books in that series. I probably read them out of order, but I loved them. And I love, love, love Speaker for the Dead, and I'm always trying to like relive the moment when I had first read that book, so I'm hoping that this one does that for me. And last, I got The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I read this when it first came out. I loved it. I cried like a baby. I recommend that everybody reads this. It is a World War II novel. This one was about 2 sisters and like how they led vastly different lives during World War II, and I just really wanted to own a copy. It was $1, and yeah, I really, really, truly recommend it to like anyone who enjoys historical fiction, especially World War II. So that is it, guys. The next video that I film will probably be my Booktubeathon TBR. Booktubeathon is probably going to be pretty crazy for me because I've never done anything like that, but I'm excited, so I will catch you in that video. Bye!